Welcome back as we continue this training on how to run your practice by the numbers, focusing on the marketing. And if you haven't watched video 1, go back and watch that because it sets up a scenario of these two practices that we looked at of their scheduled new patients, the KPI, and their accelerator, the new patient acquisition cost. To really understand this, which of those two practices were more profitable, we have to look at this concept of patient lifetime value. Now remember, we talked about there's only 3 ways to really grow a practice, and that is more new patients, more valuable new patients, or keeping them longer. And we're really focused on these first 2 concepts. How do we get more new patients and how do we make them as valuable as we possibly can? To really understand this concept of patient lifetime value, we have to take a step back and really look at the model of chiropractic. I was born into this chiropractic family, and my whole life I've been underneath chiropractic care. And if you ask me, when's the last time you're gonna get adjusted? It'll probably be just like my dad, who on his deathbed asked me for an adjustment to help him through his transition. You see, this is what our profession was built on, is a healthcare system, not a symptom regulatory system. And there's 2 models when we really look at healthcare. The medical model, which it was developed out of symptomatology, and then there was chiropractic, really unlocking the body's natural ability to heal, resist, and thrive with its connection to innate. Well, how do you build a practice really understanding those 2 models? And when we look at family practices, those are practices where we bring in a patient and we put them underneath care, and we will probably see them for a lot of years, if not their lifetime. And then there's other models where we bring a patient and we treat them for a auto accident or for a specific condition, and when we've resolved that condition, we release them, or at least release them from that model of care and transition them into the other model of care. It's when there's confusion on these 2 models and they're overlapping and patients don't really understand the difference that a confused patient isn't a committed patient. Because these patients are so used to the symptomatology model, it takes a lot of education and helping them commit their lives to different lifestyle choices. And that is what chiropractic is amazing for. As we see the evolution of practices in our community, we really see these models coming out where they're very specifically focused on a condition, a niche that they're treating. And then of course we see these other practices that are really helping patients stay under care, continue to focus and use chiropractic as lifestyle medicine. So when you've decided what type of model to implement in your practice, we really want to separate those 2 models and look at them individually, analyze the data individually between the 2, because they're not the same model. So we can take that lifetime value of a patient and actually break it down into a case value. And so we're really analyzing now a case from the time the patient comes in, say, for an auto injury, and they're released from the auto injury. What is the value of that case versus a patient coming in with a disc herniation? We start treatment, and by the time they're well, we release them from that case, and we're now ready to transition them into your wellness care. And both patients now go into wellness care. They've graduated. So I want to break down the lifetime value into its case value. In BlueIQ, we actually call this the lifetime value, and it's broken down into time frames, and we usually use the 1-year value of that patient. What is the amount of money you expect to collect from that patient over their first year? And so that 1-year value is extremely important in looking at what is an acceptable new patient acquisition cost, and we're going to dive into that. But before I do, I've now got to take that case value and start looking at this metric that the industry has really been obsessed about, which is called PVA, patient visit average. And if we analyze the entire industry, on average, it doesn't matter if you're a very specific chiropractic practice or a integrated practice, that patient visit average is averaging right around 24 to 26 visits per patient. So from the time the patient comes in as a new patient, we can expect on average to see them about 24 to 26 times. And again, it's really nice because BlueIQ calculates that per provider so we can show you what that PVA is. But there's another concept you have to be familiar with, and it's the same initials, so it's a little confusing, PVA, but this is production visit average. Production is the value of services that the patient is consuming per visit. This becomes really important when you think about other healthcare models. If I was going to go to an orthopedic surgeon, they're not looking at seeing me multiple times. They're performing a procedure, releasing me from that procedure into another provider for recovery. They know what their value is, and they want to book their schedule with as many of these high value procedures as possible, and that's what drives their production per visit. And so how do we look at your practice? How do we look at your patient flow to drive the value? And this means that chiropractic becomes one of the services that we offer. We can add ancillary services. Some of you have added physiotherapy. Some of you have gone into very high active therapy and rehab. Some of you have added supplementation. Some of you have added a lot of DMEs, durable medical equipment, to support the treatment plan. Some of you have added functional medicine. Some of you have added acupuncture and massage and other different types of treatments. All of these things begin to really grow your production per visit. These two numbers became really important to me. When I was a victim of my own success, I had grown my patient schedule so full that every day it was like being on this treadmill where I was sprinting through the whole day, and at the end of the day I was exhausted from the volume of patients that I had seen that day. I was scared to death to take a day off because I had this momentum going, and I knew if I took a day off, that flow would slow down or stop. There would be no cash flow produced. And shifting this model from adding other services, identifying that these patients that I was seeing a lot of were going other places to consume other services from other providers that actually should have been delivered within my practice and controlled underneath our environment. And so I pivoted. We started building that model. We started bringing in those other services and increasing the production per visit, decreasing a little bit the volume of patients, and increasing the quality of care. This was a game changer. We saw better patient outcomes, and we were able to really help, in the end, more patients achieve their health goals, their dream outcomes. By increasing production per visit, we dramatically increased the value of a new patient coming into our practice. And when you compare those two numbers, the higher production per visit was impossible to beat. Better patient outcomes, better profitability, and I wasn't on this treadmill every day, just chained to my patient schedule, chained to my table. We could actually produce a more profitable practice. So understanding that production per visit versus patient visit average versus lifetime value or case value, I really am going to walk you through this process in the next video of analyzing your marketing data to now how do we really drive the success of those models. And again, I just want to reiterate, you can practice whatever model you want. You identify what fits your purpose in your practice. And then you go to work and knowing your numbers and really creating efficiencies in your model to create the most profitability with the best patient outcomes possible. That's again what an IQ Accelerator does. So now that you understand these powerful practice principles, we can return to the numbers of these two practices that are attracting their new patient on their marketing spend. Remember, the first practice is attracting on average 38 new patients at a new patient acquisition cost of $180, right? That's the Accelerator. Their marketing spend is $6,840, which sounds like a lot. However, I'm going to share with you now the case average, which they were doing was $6,400 per case that they were attracting. While the other practice was attracting on average 60 new patients a month, on a new patient acquisition cost of $30. That's their accelerator. Their marketing spend is only $1,800, but their case average is only $882. We're going to dive into the next video of some more important data that's going to help you really see the profitability of these models and which one you want to model. Now, last time I challenged you to go share your why. The next piece that I want you to bundle with this is calling out your ideal case. As chiropractors, we're used to treating a condition that we call a subluxation and unlocking patients' power of healing. Patients don't think that way. They think in terms of conditions. So what conditions do you want to attract to your practice that are complex, that take time to heal, that may require more than just an adjustment, that you can bring them in and put them through a process of healing, change their biological state into a healing state? This means you can go on to your social media and literally call out those cases. Patients suffering with a disc herniation, patients suffering with neuropathy, patients suffering with migraines. When you're calling these patients out, you want to talk about the symptoms that they're suffering with. What life is like with these symptoms. What life could be like if those symptoms were gone. If they could actually identify the root cause of those symptoms instead of masking them with other types of modalities. You are the qualified provider that has the solution to that root cause. You are going to call them out and attract them into your practice. And that is the power of our social media platforms that are free, that you can share your why. You can now call out your ideal patient persona. So why are you still watching this video? Turn it off. I want you to go live on your favorite social media platform. Share your why, bundle it with calling out your ideal patient persona, your ideal case that you want to attract into the practice. And when you put that energy out into your community, you will be blown away at your attraction and the new patients that are going to start to show up. Patients will connect with that. Your community will connect with that. Remember that people care more about why you do what you do more than what you do. You've got to share your why. And I challenge you to go live today and share that message with your community. And you will be amazed at the people that are waiting for a leader just like you to show up in their lives. Attend the IQ Accelerator live virtual event or in person and make this 2 days in Las Vegas at the Red Rock Hotel incredible. Fill your practice with high-value new patients in 30 days, spending less time than you're currently spending all year on your marketing. Learn the data behind your marketing strategy for the ultimate return on your marketing investment. Listen, we know your time is valuable, so we want to make sure that you 10 times the return of your investment in your ticket, your travel costs, and bring your team to this incredible event. I guarantee this event will pay for itself on day one. And if you're not completely satisfied, just simply come and tell me that you want your money back, and no questions asked, it will be refunded. Because we've put together actionable systems that are simply plug and play into your practice immediately, and that is priceless. So here's what you're going to walk away with from this event. A new patient marketing system with tools, cheat sheets that any chiropractic practice can implement immediately for fast, easy, and affordable marketing systems. You're going to get your 2022 content marketing calendar packed with incredible ideas to drive your marketing within your practice. You are going to get our case study done for you landing page where all you have to do is add the case study, which we're going to show you step by step how to create at this event. That alone is worth $5,000. We are going to save you so much time and money by training your team for you, and you're going to 10x that return with our marketing team member checklist. So good, so clear, so easy to implement. Now here's the beautiful part. If you don't have BlueIQ yet, you get access to BlueIQ for 30 days to not only see the power of its growth tools, but how to track, analyze, and use your marketing data for insane practice growth, and to connect that to your team bonus system. That's right, the perfect team member bonus system right inside of BlueIQ. But don't take it from me. Our results speak from themselves. Here's what our attendees from last year had to show us. Dr. Cooner, up $750,000. Dr. Prax up $700,000. Dr. Del Rio grew $500,000 and doubled his collections. Dr. Pearson grew $200,000. Dr. LeBerry grew $400,000. And Dr. Henry up $400,000 and have doubled the number of their practices. This is the power of the IQ Accelerator event, and we are ready to share it with you. The total value of the IQ Accelerator event is almost $15,000, and today we're offering you 50% off. That's right. Tickets that are $19.97, we're knocking $1,000 off and you get it for $9.97. And you can bring up to 4 team members. But don't wait, we sell out every year. You have to get your ticket today before these tickets are gone. Click the link below and get your IQ Accelerator ticket today.